What if submission didn't make you smaller, but actually made your relationship feel calmer, safer, and more secure? Imagine not second guessing every decision, not feeling like you have to control everything, and actually trusting the man you're with to lead well. That's what healthy, God-led submission looks like, and it's very different from what most people think. Did you know that nearly 70% of relationship conflict comes down to power struggles, not love? So what if submission isn't about losing power, but choosing where it actually matters? What if most women have it completely backwards and it's costing them peace, attraction, and stability? When should you actually submit to a man, and when should you absolutely not? I'm going to walk you through this step by step. First, how to choose the right man. Then, how to build trust. Then, how to practice submission in small ways. And finally, how to keep your voice without losing yourself. If you're skeptical, good. This will actually make a lot of sense. Well, Bree, how do we choose a man worth submitting to? Great question. Well, for starters, submission only works when the man is safe, consistent, and aligned with God. That means he has integrity, his actions match his words, and he makes decisions with care, not ego. For example, think of it like getting a car. You wouldn't hand the keys to someone reckless and hope for the best. You'd only relax in the passenger seat if you trust the driver. A common mistake you'll see with this is trying to practice submission with a man who hasn't earned trust. That leads to resentment, not peace. A way to avoid doing that is to watch his patterns, not his potential. If he's inconsistent now, submission won't fix it, it'll only amplify it. This is why I say you need to build trust before you let go of control. Submission isn't instant, it grows as trust grows. So start by letting him lead in low stakes decisions and see how he handles it. For example, let him plan the date, not just where to go, but the details. Then observe. Does he consider your preferences? Does he follow through? What you don't want to do here is say that you want him to lead and then correct every decision he makes. I know that can be really hard sometimes, but you have to give him space to lead without micromanaging. If you step in every time, you're training him not to lead. This means you need to practice submission in small, real moments. Submission is a daily posture, not some big dramatic act. It looks like choosing cooperation over control. For example, you both have different ideas for how to spend the weekend. So instead of pushing your plan harder, you pause and say, I trust your lead on this. Then you follow through with a good attitude. What you don't want to do is agree on the outside, but resist on the inside with your attitude, your tone, your body language. So we need to keep it real. If you can't support his decision with peace, speak up honestly instead of pretending. Real submission is willing, not forced. Were you silent or were you silenced? In relationships, it's really important to keep your voice. Submission is not silence. Healthy submission doesn't mean you stop thinking or speaking. It means you share your thoughts respectfully, then allow him to make the final call. For example, you might say, I feel unsure about your decision here because of XYZ. But I trust you to lead us well. A common mistake here that you really want to avoid doing is either staying silent and building resentment or over talking to regain control. Neither of those are helping anyone. So to stay away from doing that, you can say what you need to say calmly and clearly, then release the outcome. That's the balance. Lastly, make sure you are staying grounded in God, not just that man. Don't forget, the God-led part matters because your trust isn't just in him. It's in God working through the relationship. In action, that means when you feel anxious about letting go, you pray instead of trying to control the situation. And what you don't want to do is make that man your source of security instead of God. One way to make sure you don't fall into that trap is to keep your own spiritual foundation strong. Submission should feel like peace, not pressure. So what does that mean? You need to be still joining your own small groups, doing your own devotionals, having your own spirit-led, worship time or your own Bible studies, that it's just you and God, your relationship with God. It doesn't always have to be, babe, let's do this reading together or this devotional together. Like, that is fantastic and that is a great solid foundation, but your relationship with God and with Christ still needs to be really strong on its own. Quick disclaimer that I want to add in here that I feel the Holy Spirit is asking me to make mention, this is not a part of my notes, is that all of these things, this list that I came up with for whether you should or should not submit, is 100% contingent on whether this man that you had in mind while you were watching this video, is he God-fearing and is he good-willed? And are you God-fearing and good-willed? If not, this can turn into a weird kind of power dynamic sort of thing. But I do feel the way that I wrote out these, guidelines, it should already have weeded that out. But I just wanted to say that really quick, just to be certain. If this feels new or uncomfortable, that's normal. You don't have to get it perfect. You just have to start practicing it in small, intentional ways, because the right relationship won't make you feel powerless. It'll make you feel at peace, and you are more than capable of building that. If this video spoke to you or helped you out in any way at all, I kindly ask that you would give it a like, subscribe to the channel for similar videos and different types of videos to come soon. And I would love to see in the comments, please leave a comment and let me know which one of these numbers, which one of these guidelines resonated with you most or stirred something up in your spirit, because I know the girlies probably heard a thing or two that they didn't love, because submission for a lot of people is a bad word, but not here. We are reclaiming it in the way that God intended it to be. So until the next time, deuces.